Hey, what is going on, guys? Today in this video, we've got an exciting product. Trinnov reached out to me and said, Michael, you have heard Trinnov at CEDIA, you've heard it at some of your home theater tours, but we don't think you've ever had one in your home to just check out and play with. So this will be my first experience with Trinnov in my own home. I just want to see, what does that look like for a consumer? What does that look like for a normal home theater? I mean, I don't have a massive room, 13-foot by 19-foot room, 10-foot ceiling, 150-inch screen, 7.2.4 Dolby Atmos system. So this is way more than probably what I need in this room. But of course, home theater has never been about needs. It's about what do we want in our system. But I just thought it'd be cool to get it in, to get some firsthand experience, to see what that process looks like of setting up a Trinnov, running their optimizer. I'm curious about the interface. What does that look like? Can a consumer like myself and like you, could you buy one of these, set it up on your own, and get a good result? So I won't be bringing in a professional calibrator for this. This is just on loan. They've graciously sent this to me for a couple months. The plan is I want to use it in my theater room here, and then I've got their permission after I finish playing around with it and just enjoy it, get an experience, make some videos on it. I want to bring it up to Obsessed Home Theater headquarters, which is about 2 hours away from here. We're currently building out the Obsessed Home Theater lab. The thought is, anytime I get a unit like this, I've got to unhook all of my gear, climb behind my screen, and climb behind my cabinet, and basically disrupt my personal home theater. So by having the lab in the future, we'll be able to review and test these products a lot more simply. So Altitude 16 double box. So this is a review unit, so I don't anticipate this to be like brand new packaging. So just kind of keep that in mind. I could be wrong, but just looking at the tape, it's probably a demo unit that's been kind of passed around a couple of times here and there. But nonetheless, I'm excited. I just want to test this out, to play with it, to see what it's like to experience Trinnov in my own home. And as I've always done on the channel, I'm gonna bring you guys along for the ride. So double boxed. Let's get this one unboxed here. All right, so inside the box, let's see what we got here. And again, this is the first time. I haven't watched any videos on this, so I'm going into this blind. Just wanted to bring you along for what would this experience be for you, the consumer, if you were to buy one of these yourself. So this is probably the optimizer microphone. Let's see. Yep, optimizer mic, XLR5. So we have got an XLR cable here. It's got looks like a proprietary, maybe a proprietary smaller cable there. And I'll show you some close-up B-roll of this. So this is the infamous Trinnov microphone. Check this thing out, man. This looks cool. So we've got 4 different microphones, and the concept there, my understanding, is it can pretty much pinpoint where each one of your speakers is in a 3D environment by taking 4 different measurements at the same time. So very, very interesting there. And then looks like, oh, okay, we've got an adapter that you can use for your tripod, because we'll mount this on a tripod. And I picked up another tripod specifically for this. Not that it's anything fancy, but I've never had a tripod that had a boom arm. So I think this will just make it easier for this, as well as anytime I'm taking measurements in my room. So nice packaging here. Cable feels really nice. Go ahead and put that back in there for now. I like that. That's pretty slick. Let's see what else we've got in here. All right, so this is the remote control. Now, interesting, I've seen this online. The remote control is different, that's for sure. Not sure how I feel about the remote in full transparency. kind of thought that it'd be something maybe a little bit cooler, but the thought might be you may not use this very much. So again, I have no experience. I don't know if I'm going to be doing everything from an app. I believe they've got an app, so that might be the reason why they don't put a lot of money into the remote. I don't think it's going to be backlit. So again, this may just be an afterthought because most people aren't going to use this. Kind of like your Kaleidescape remote. I never use my Kaleidescape remote. And so I always use the app on my phone. And so that might be a similar experience there. So, but you do have a remote here. So we'll lay that off to the side. Holy cow, that is a big honking manual, all right? So that is a massive manual. So you're gonna see this is not your typical AVR. It's not a typical processor. This thing's like a full-blown computer. And so there's a lot of processing that goes into it, a lot of flexibility, but there's also a lot to learn. So again, I'm just excited to see what that's all about. Okay, so these are gonna be your rack ears. So I'm not even gonna, well, I'll pull out one. I don't have a rack. I've got a cabinet here. So they do include the rack ears here. So if you've got this in a like a 42U or something like that, an AV rack, you can secure this to the bottom here. It's got 3 screws, and of course your 2 front screws. So I'm gonna just lay that back in the box since we won't be using it. And then down here should be our power cable. And then of course we've got just a standard, actually not quite standard. Might have to get me an adapter. Actually, I probably can just use a regular non-European power cable. So I'll check with them just to make sure, but it should be fine. Just a standard, looks like a 3-prong IEC power cable. So that is included in there as well. Now for the big boy. So we're gonna go ahead and take this part off. Lay that off to the side. And we'll get some close-up shots here in a second, but we'll just get this lifted out. I'll put this off to the side. So looking at the front of the unit, it's just really, really clean. We've got the Trinnov Altitude 16 logo at the top left, a power button, a mute button, volume control, a large display right in the middle. Then over to the right, we've got a sources, a back button, select button, as well as a menu button. Looking at the rear, this is where it begins to look quite different than your typical processor or AVR. Up at the top, we do have 8 HDMI inputs and 2 HDMI outputs. Below that, we've got 2 audio network interfaces, which that's kind of interesting. To the right of that, we've got our digital coax inputs, as well as some fiber optic or Toslink connections. It has 2 XLR inputs, RCA inputs, as well as an input for the mic. Over to the far right, we've got trigger ins, as well as 4 trigger outputs that allows you to connect various amplifiers to turn them on and off whenever this unit turns on and off. Below that are 16 individual channels for XLR. Now these are configurable, and we'll look at that once we get into the setup. To the left of that is the RS-232 connection. Then over to the far bottom left is what you would expect to see on your standard computer. We've got Ethernet connection, we've got audio interface, USB, HDMI, RGB, DVI, as well as a connection for a mouse. And then above that, we have our 3-prong power connection. Now in my setup, I only have 2 subwoofers up front. I do not have any space, for the most part, for 2 more subwoofers in the rear. So when I do my initial testing here in the theater room, I won't be able to check out waveforming, but I'm excited that once I take this to Obsessed Home Theater Lab, we've got a much bigger room, and I'd love to dive into waveforming, maybe get their team on the channel, talk more about that process, what that looks like, how it can benefit you guys as a consumer. But I'm really excited about this product. I really, really am. Now this is not inexpensive. The Altitude 16 at the time of this video is almost $20,000, $19,500 I believe. The Altitude 32, if you need even more channels, is way more expensive. But those of you that are looking for something that can handle massive channel count, tons of flexibility, again, this might be a great option. And so I'm looking forward to this series. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be from a consumer's perspective. Just an audio enthusiast, video enthusiast that loves home theater, loves gear. And I want to see, can I set this up by myself? Can I make it sound good? What does that process look like? And I'm going to bring you guys along my journey. Now, before I wrap up the video, Trinnov has also been producing some really cool Dolby Atmos trailers and demos. You can download them free from their website. Of course, I'll link it down in the description below, as well as the Altitude 16, their Amplitude 16, as well as the Altitude 32. So you can check that out if you want to. But go download their trailers. These are free Dolby Atmos trailers. I know Benoit, this is like his passion project. He's put a ton of hours, lots of heart, lots of soul into these. Each month they're rolling out new ones, and so be on the lookout for that. But you can download them free on their website. I've got some videos I'll link to down in the description if you want to know how to do that or what's available. And if you've got Kaleidescape, it makes it even easier. You can just download them straight from the Kaleidescape store. Again, those are totally free, so definitely check those out. I'm excited about this series of videos that I'll be doing on this really high-end processor, but don't worry, I'm still going to continue to review budget-friendly options as well as mid-tier. Actually, right now as we speak, I've got an Onkyo RZ30 that's en route, so I'll be reviewing that here on the channel in the near future, so make sure you're subscribed. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the day. God bless, and I'll catch you in the next video.